All right, guys, getting out here a little bit late, not terribly late. Had to go to the store. Today is Wednesday, June 7th, 2023, and today marks day 3 of my 7-day work week marathon I'm putting in on the two-door hardtop 55. So today's fun is going to be working more on the trunk upholstery stuff. So that's what I plan on doing. I had to go get some more L brackets so I can finish, you know, for this side and the middle. So that's pretty much the plan. Just more trunk upholstery goodness. And I doubt I even get them done today because I still have to upholster them and all kinds of stuff. But I got a lot more fabrication and things to think about. I still got to figure out the placement of the stainless. And there's a lot I got to do, which, you know, a lot of stuff to figure out. So I've been getting suggestions from people on what I should try or what I should have used instead of a toggle switch here. So I have a plan for what I'm going to do with this, and I just didn't talk about it later in those other videos, so let me line you all out here. So what I am going to do is, the way the switch is made, it has a high side here. I'm going to drill a hole and install a rubber bumper in the trunk right here. So in case I do forget to turn that off, when I close the trunk, that rubber bumper will come down and turn it off for me. So that's what I'm going to do. I had a lot of suggestions. Some of you guys had some good suggestions. Some of you didn't have so good of suggestions, I guess. One of them was opening the door, wiring it into the dome light switch and doing that. And that is what I thought about doing the first time, but I don't want to have to open my door and have it stay open just to get in my trunk to have a trunk light. The reality is, guys, I'm probably never going to need a trunk light in this car, ever. So, you know, I don't foresee me hauling stuff back here to, you know, need a trunk light. I might, you know, if I break down at night, I might, who knows. But anyway, that's just, I really think with this thing lit up like a city at night, you know, with those big dome lights in there, it's going to be hard not to forget to turn the switch off, but I am going to have a fail-safe with the rubber cushion just in case. In case you don't know what I'm talking about one of these rubber cushions like here. I have a bunch of these here, and they have a ton of different ones, different length ones. You can get square, you can get round, you can get all kinds of these. All you do is drill a hole and it just pops right in there, and it's a rubber cushion. So basically I can drill a hole in the trunk and stick that up there, and then when the trunk closes, it'll come down, contact that switch right there. So I'm not really going to worry too much about it right now. It's just something I'm going to have to do later. But I have a lot of these here in different sizes and shapes, and Lowe's has them, my local Ace Hardware has them, they have them at my Tractor Supply. I mean, you can get all kinds of those. You can get oval ones, round ones, square ones. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, that's I'm just going to finish the upholstery side of it today and get everything, you know, I want to at least get mock-up done, but I don't know if I'm going to make it. So someone has suggested, actually, for the lights in the trunk to tie it in, the wiring to the park lights. And my car is not wired like an original 55. Original 55s, you turn the headlights on, or you turn the park lights on and your turn signals light up and your headlights are not. And then when you turn your headlights on, these go out, these stay on. My car, these stay on whether the headlights are on or they're on park light. So anyway, these stay on all the time, and, you know, of course the tail lights too. The tail light in park is the same back here. So if I wired that into my tail light or tag light or whatever, when I'm driving at night with the headlights on, the trunk light's going to be on. So that's not something I'm interested in doing. So I'll do the easy way and the cheap, because I'm always on the budget side of things. I'm just going to do a little rubber bumper. So I'm going to get started. All right, so I got my clips installed in my L brackets. That's pretty much, I'm not going to snap the whole thing in, but that's pretty much how it goes. And then when I upholster it, the material will go around to the back side, and it'll kind of help fill up that void a little bit. But I'm happy with that. So now the panels will be removable, kind of like new model cars. I'm happy with that. So I showed this in my door panel video, but in case anybody hasn't seen it, that is the clips that I'm using. You can pause the screen if you want to. And that's pretty much what they look like, but they're offset, so wherever you drill your hole, this needs to be offset a little bit. And like I said in the video yesterday, I have a template made. So once I end up drilling the holes in the panel for those clips to slip onto, I then take my template and line it up on that hole. Like yesterday, what did I do with it? Right here, I got a, no, that ain't it. I've got a 5/16 bolt. You need a 5/16 hole with those clips. So a 5/16 drill bit or step bit. And I take just a 5/16 bolt and slip it in here and slip it into that, and then place it on there, and then I take my Sharpie and stick in that hole. So then when I pull that off, there's a hole there. And when you put that up there to drill the panel or your door or whatever for those clip holes to go into, you put that panel up there and you take that little hole and you put your Sharpie through there, and it'll go on to like these L brackets that I did. So then when I pull the panel back off, I've got my little red Sharpie dot, and I'll go in there and center punch it and then drill it. And I use a spring punch. I don't go in there and try to hammer on these with the hammer. This is a spring-loaded punch for drilling. Basically just push down and that spring pops and puts a little mark on there so your drill bit doesn't walk. All right, so now I have a direction to go, so I'm gonna get, I can see how this would take forever trying to do all this. So I've got my panel made, and it's pretty much snapped in here. It's clipped in, so this is where it's going to be. So I started making my left side template here, which I'm hoping I can just flip around backwards and use over here. So I kind of went in here and just kind of, you know, eyeballed it and tried to trim it the best I could to get it to kind of fit. I got my line off here, but what I'm going to end up doing is going back in and retrimming. And then I'm just going to use pieces of masking tape and kind of fill in the blanks, so I'll have a nice guide to go by. So I have to give it space for material to go around, and then especially on these side panels, these are going to be upholstered with 1/4 inch foam, then the material over the top. So I have to have a pretty good gap here, but I do want it even. I don't want this smashed into it. I want it to meet up to it pretty good, pretty soft. And then the other thing about this, what I wanted this panel to look like, is I want this back panel curve to match the curve of the trunk piece here. So this, where that weather stripping goes down in there, when the trunk's closed, your weather stripping goes in there because it's glued to the trunk. It actually curves pretty hard, you can see. So what I did is I used a straight edge and laid it in the floor up until it hit here. And then I went in and I put masking tape down here, pieces, and I wrote an arrow to it. And you can see how close that is and how far that is. So that's how hard curved that'll be. So that masonite will follow that contour, and I think it'll look pretty cool. So this is kind of where I'm at this point. Now I was thinking about doing an insert panel that would, you know, come out, but I don't know if I'm gonna mess with that. I still might, I don't know. I mean, this is the 3rd day and it's already in the afternoon and I'm still not much further along. It takes a lot of time just trying to get these templates figured out and what I'm gonna do. So the corner is what I'm trying to kind of figure out what I want to do. A lot of guys will use just a small little curved piece here with a flat side here, and it's just a little add-on box here. I don't really want to mess with that. and I don't have a sewing machine to actually sew this gray straw cloth, because the gray will be on the bottom of these panels, the black will be on the top with stainless separating. So I don't really want to do anything crazy here anyway. I don't really care for the style line or the bead coming through there, but that's just the way it is. It's just common when you see a lot of these cars at a show, if you go around and you look at them that are upholstered in the trunk, most of the time this is just left alone. Like, you'll see the body color through there, which I don't want to do that. I don't want to leave my Raptor liner exposed. So what I think I've decided I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray on just spray glue that gray straw cloth on that and steam it and make it contour that really good and get the lines going the same way. So I think that's all I'm going to do. It's easy, it's quick. I don't have to make any extra added crap. So this stuff doesn't really stretch that good. It's kind of pretty firm, almost cardboardy like. So I'm going to have to figure something out on there, but I'm pretty sure I can get it to work with a steamer. But that's what I'm going to have to do. So I guess I'll get back to it. I still got to cut out this panel. I've got the template all finished out and sitting over there, and I've got it traced out on the masonite, and then I have to put the L brackets in and all that. But I kind of wanted to see if this piece would kind of flip over there, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be, but I'm just trying to get everything to fit really good to the body, and that's what's taken so long. I'll get it. All right, guys, it's getting late in the day, and I've actually been messing with other crap here. So a bunch of you guys were a little worried about me leaving my trunk light on because it's just on a toggle switch. And some of you had some pretty good ideas, but you know, I just kind of come up with something on my own, and I had the part here that worked, so I'll show you what I did. So I drilled a hole in the deck lid, put a rubber bumper on there, and that's the switch right there. So one of the dome lights right now is behind this, and I don't want to pull that panel out, so I've got the other one drug out here. But you can see the lights on. Red light's on the switch. So rubber bumper. Oh, what do you know about that? Lights out. Well, it's about 6:30 p.m. and I am done. So I gotta, pretty much now all that's left is building the back piece. And I've got this template made for this side, and then when I flip it, it's pretty close. I'll just have to add some tape along the edge for, you know, to make a new line with it. But I got this one fitting pretty decent. But the mosquitoes are out and they're trying to carry me off, so I think I'm done. And my neighbor just come over and said that like a 70% chance of rain tomorrow. So the forecast changed from when I looked Sunday or Monday, of course, like it always does. So I am done. Didn't get very far again today, but I did spend a lot of time messing with that rubber bumper for the fail-safe to turn off the toggle switch. But this panel's, it's clipped in, it's done. That panel's clipped in, it's done, other than upholstery. And then I have to basically make this side for the template, tape them together, transfer it to the masonite, cut it out, and then I have to put L brackets in the floor panels and the body. Now the L brackets that I'm using right here, I'm putting them in this masonite floor panel. I'm not putting them through the floor of the car. I don't want any screws going out through the body, so these won't be seen. I'm using a low profile wide Phillips head screw, and I'm drilling the hole, and then it's coming up from the bottom, and then I put a nut on the top. So that's how I'm attaching it up here. But anyway, up in this panel here, it's all flat, so that L bracket will just, I can just screw it underneath that panel because it's like that thick right there. So I can just drill right into that. But I'll have several L brackets up there and several there. So that'll be, when all the stuff snaps in, it'll be snapped in pretty nice. And then this straw cloth material is pretty stiff. Now when you do these panels in these cars, there's always a little area exposed, and I'm just gonna, just for the sake of getting this done and not spending more time and building more crap, I'm just gonna spray glue that on there and call it a day. So I'm just gonna spray glue I'll have everything out, even the floor panel will be out, and then I'll spray glue this on there. That way the material goes all the way down to the bottom of the floor, and then when I put this in, it'll have a nice edge up to it, but so you won't see any of the outer edge of this that I glue on here, but all that upholstered material will run right up to it. So this material will match on the bottom of this, because this will be all gray straw cloth and this will be black up here. So kind of a mess. I just don't want to leave that exposed because it'll break the look. I did think about angling that, but it comes back too far to angle it from up there to here, and I also want the panel curved, so it's just going to work out this way, doing it better. But I'll be able to keep more trunk space, and it's not like I'm ever going to really throw anything in here anyway. We ever go somewhere on a long trip or something, we're going to be taking this one. That's pretty much what I'm designing and building this car for, is something to drive across country. This car's too low to, you know, take off and drive out of state on roads that I don't know, because I'd probably just tear the mufflers off of it and tear up underneath of it because it's so low. But anyway, guys, I am done. I had dinner and then I come back out here and did some more work, but this day is over with. I think I need a glass of water. I've been sweating all day. I've drank about 3 Gatorades. I have drank water, but not very much. So tomorrow's a new day, but it may be raining, so I may not be able to do anything. Thanks for watching.